Let me ask, because you've mentioned something now. You said you need to know the right person, if the right candidate is what you need to do, right? My question is for Olivia now. I want you to jump on this. What is the process of knowing this person is the right person for rent to own? Because I know a lot of people who watch this now, a lot of my audience will be listening to this while they're driving, and I'm like, oh, maybe they should get into it. How would you identify the right person for rent to own? And if you can walk me through the process as well, because from what I understand with rent to own, I think there are two strategies. You go to the landlord, you rent from them, you buy from them. And the other strategy is what I believe you guys do, like you have investors that will invest in the property, and the person that want to do rent to own will be the one to look for the property as well, but they'll be renting it. How would you identify the right person for this strategy, and what is the process?
Okay, so to identify the right person, it depends. Like Nicholas said, it can depend on a lot of people's situations.
Okay.
So, if like you came to Canada, maybe you don't even have a credit score here, right?
Okay.
And so then you can't get a home even though you have the money for it, or maybe it's someone who had a lot of credit card debt, or run into a lot of situations where someone maybe co-signed a car for a friend and then the friend stopped paying for the car, and then it impacted their credit
own credit.
greatly. Yeah. So a lot of the people we help just have problems with their credit, and whatever the reason can be, whatever the reason is. And so we really have to look and see, is there a need for it? If someone has great credit and they maybe just don't have enough saved, a lot of time we might recommend just save up and get the home.
No.
If someone has bad credit, but they have money saved and they really want to get into a home because they're growing their family, their landlord's kicking them out, they want to move to a new city. And sometimes people just want a home to call their own. They want to be able to go in, paint the room, decorate, and not worry about doing it.
When you're leaving, you have to kind of clean up.
Yeah, exactly. So it really depends on each person's individual situation. And then we just have to go through and we really ask a lot of questions, try to figure out if that person is the right fit. Do you have anything you want to add to that?
And to add to her point, when it comes to identifying the actual ideal candidate, one of the things that is the major driving force is how long the client will need to rehabilitate their credit score.
Okay.
So from experience, we're not mortgage brokers, but we do have mortgage brokers we work with. So but from experience working with mortgage brokers, for example, if a candidate has been recently discharged from a collection or a consumer proposal or bankruptcy, ideally they would need at least 24 months post-discharge to establish good credit payment history.
That's true. Okay.
So once we come across those kind of people, we identify, okay, first of all, you can't get a home traditionally through the mortgage, but the rent home might be a good route. That is one side of it. Now, when it comes to personality, that's a huge one for us because rent own is like a contract marriage. And the worst thing you want to do is get into a marriage with the wrong person, right?
Yes.
So we always try to make sure we work with people that are coachable, open-minded, because when they get into the program, our mortgage broker puts together a credit rehabilitation plan.
Okay.
Getting into rent own is not the real problem. Getting out of it
rental
is the real problem. So the mindset, the financial awareness, and their willingness to work with us, I would say, are the three main things that we look out for before deciding to work with anyone.